This subject is a very useful subject, I think. It's very, it covers lots of material, especially for those of you who are just joined the university or just finished your first semester of the university, doing either Bachelor of Information Technology, Software Engineering, Bachelor of Business Informatics. This covers lots of material that later on, during your next few years of the study, you will encounter. And the topic is very sweet. It's very meaningful because we all use databases in our daily life, day-to-day life, on your mobile phone, on net banking, in the libraries, going to the supermarket, going to the DVD store. Everywhere you go, there are databases that are running those businesses or that store data about you, or products and services, the pricing, purchasing, invoicing, all of them is done through data that's stored in databases. What I will cover today is two things. One is, why do we need database to store data? And then I'll just go back also, why databases were created. What was the idea behind of just having databases? And to do that, you've got to go back a few years, 20, 30 years, and look at the systems at that time and the problems that those systems had. And then learn why we need databases, why we need software that allows you to create databases, to store data, retrieve data fairly quickly. So this is the topic of this lecture. At the beginning of my lecture, I just put in a couple of objectives and that I am trying to achieve in each of these lectures. So I said to you, anywhere you go these days, there are databases around that basically help us with our day-to-day life, businesses. It could be, purchasing from supermarkets, so the details of every product is stored in a database, and as you pick up your grocery in the supermarket and you go to the registers, as each item is scanned, the details of each item comes up the price from the database. And also it stores which items is sold every day, every second that they're selling things in the supermarket. Also supermarkets go beyond that these days, and most of you have got frequent flyers and other rewards cards that you basically provide maybe when you purchase grocery. And not only the supermarket knows which items they've sold, minute by minute or second by second, but also knows who purchased the item. You also use credit cards maybe, or your key cards, the bank key cards, to pay for your purchases. So the banks also know what you purchased and all other details that are stored. So with the credit cards in the travel agency, using your mobile phone is one of the interesting topics that came up in news, as you know, about a month ago. Somebody escaped from American to Hong Kong, just telling everyone, we're basically checking all your information, because when you make a phone call, all your details is also stored. Your phone number, the number you call, the duration of your call, is it off peak, on peak, the pricing, all this information is stored with the telecommunication company. And also as it goes through different satellites, all these informations are stored. When you take a picture on your phone, the location of the picture is stored also. Lots of additional data, which we call metadata, is stored with every data item too, with your picture, the size of the picture, the location of the picture, and many other information. Right? So therefore, there are large amount of data that are available, and you have to store it somewhere, because these data can become very valuable to you as just personal and also in business, to know your customers. For example, the supermarkets know which products will sell best on certain day of the year at the certain location in Australia, at the certain supermarket in Australia. So if you think of Coles and Woolworths, they know, for example, how many can of beans they will sell today. based on the data that has collected for the last 10 years. So they know who will buy. They will know who will buy the bins, possibly, you know. You can guess it, the age of the person, based if you have used your reward card. Because now we can attach the purchase of an item, this product, to the date, location, and the person that's purchasing. And then use this data to get some information and get our business better. You know, this is just when we are going to sell most number of biscuits. You know, when we are going to sell most number of cans of Coke. So these are the details that we can, if we store the data properly and we can access it properly and manipulate it and process it properly, we can get lots of information out of it. But let's go back. Studying at the university, there's something very interesting about the databases. You know, on the Moodle that I said all the details are stored about every subject, I can check how many downloads of the lecture notes have been performed today, per day, you know, per semester. How many times people downloaded the tutorial? Right? Does this make sense? All the login times that you do, every time you log in and out and access Moodle, click on everything, it's all recorded. I don't see it. It's private. Thanks God. Okay? So where you go using Explorer or Safari, using the web, any location that you go, it's all recorded. We don't access it. It's private. But don't forget, everything you do is recorded. Every time you log in and log out is recorded. Then you log in, then you log out. Everything is recorded. So, and therefore we're talking about large amount of data even at the university that needs to be stored. And needs to be stored somewhere that can be accessed quickly, right? Accessed by many applications, by those people that are authorized, and then processed in the right way.